What do you do when you spent years learning your craft, sacrificing weekends, investing in gear, and you're still barely scraping by? Well, you're not alone. Thousands of musicians are quietly quitting. They're burnt out, broke, and bitter. But it doesn't have to be this way. So let's talk about what's really going on and what you can do to survive it. So I'm Terrence, and I've been a full-time musician for over 30 years, and I've toured, I've gigged, I've taught, I've directed, and I've struggled pretty much through every version of the music hustle. And what I've discovered is that the truth is most musicians don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because the music game changed and nobody showed them the new rules or how to play that game. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm telling you what the rules are now. So in this video, I'm breaking down 5 brutal truths that are keeping musicians stuck. And for each truth, I'll give you a move to make right now to get you out of survival mode. So the first brutal truth is that the craft of musicianship is severely undervalued. You know, venues are asking you to bring audiences. Churches are asking you to play voluntarily in the name of ministry. Most of these venues want the bands and musicians to be the artist, the promoter, and the audience. And that's just not sustainable. So what can we as musicians do about this? Well, one thing you can do is stop waiting for others to value you and build your own brand, not just your skill. See, when you become recognizable and when your name starts to carry weight, people start to treat you differently. So that means that you need to have things like clear and clean visuals and a pro social media profile and clips of you performing and testimonials and all of that where you have some social proof to provide that gives your name and your brand some weight. I remember I once quoted this church that was trying to hire me $1,200 a week for what they were wanting me to do. And when I first threw out that number, they balked at me and scoffed, oh my God, what is this? But I walked them through my experience, my track record, and my systems, and they paid it. See, you gotta own your own value first. Now, also, so many musicians are just tired. And I'm not talking about just physically tired. I'm talking about spiritually and emotionally and creatively tired. They're just tapped out. And it's no wonder that this is happening because most of us musicians, we're doing everything. We're booking, we're promoting, we're posting, we're teaching, we're following up. We're doing all of these tasks for people that don't even bother to say thank you to us. But what you have to do to fix this is set boundaries. So if it's a 2-hour rehearsal, you don't stay over 2 hours. You don't let that rehearsal go to 3 hours. If someone in your life is draining your energy, remove them from your life or remove yourself from that space. And what you also have to do is build systems, build templates, build contracts, build pre-written responses to stuff so that your life is more automated, where you don't have to put a lot of thought into doing all of these tasks. So someone mentioned the phrase to me that burnout and betrayal is real. And that phrase really stuck with me because it's not just about the fatigue anymore. It's about feeling used and feeling unseen and feeling disposable as musicians. So let's fix that. Now, if any of this is hitting you, do me a big favor and hit the like button on this video and drop a comment and let me know what your biggest struggle is right now. I read all of the comments. So here's what hurts the most. You give your heart and your soul to this music thing and you're still broke. Streaming platforms are paying musicians fractions of pennies. Gigs are only paying enough to get you some gas in your car. And the phrase doing it for the love of it is just code for we don't want to pay you. Booking high quality and good paying gigs almost seems impossible. And the ones that are good, they want you to just come there and play for exposure. So what you need in all of this is leverage, not just labor. And what that means is having multiple streams of income. So things like teaching lessons, things like selling backing tracks and YouTube AdSense monetization, or sync licensing, or even membership and fan-supported ventures that you have income streams coming in as a musician. I once made more money in 1 month just with my YouTube AdSense than all of the gigs I played combined in that month. And that content already recorded, already uploaded. That's leverage. So the old model was simple. Get signed, go on tour, sell CDs. That model is dead now. The path to success now as a musician is being your own business. But the problem is nobody really tells you what that really means. And what happens is that causes a lot of musicians to get stuck and lost, particularly older musicians. So what you need then is a modern map. You need one that's built around systems and marketing and digital presence. So what you're going to do is start with these pillars. You're going to build your brand on one platform, like YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, or whichever one you choose. You know, my choice is always YouTube. And then you set up a simple website and your booking forms where people can come book you as a musician, band, or artist. And then you create a pricing guide to where people can see what you charge for your gigs, and a client email template where you respond to clients and all of that kind of stuff. This is setting up these systems for yourself. And then one of the main things is start building an email list. You can't rely on a lot of these platforms that you don't own. And there's a saying in the business community that the money is in the list. And this means that what you have is a direct communication device to people who have subscribed to you, who have agreed to be your customers, who you've done business with in the past. You have a direct line of communication with them, and this is where your business is going to come from. It's like no one is even mentoring people on these systems anymore. But that's why I make these videos to you, because what you need is structure. Now, let's get real here for a moment. A lot of you musicians are playing in toxic environments where you're underappreciated, you're underpaid, and you're micromanaged. You're forced to work with people who you don't like and who don't like you and who aren't team members and who are just out for themselves. And that's just not a good situation for any of us musicians to be in if we want to be successful. So here's the thing. If it's draining you more than it's paying you, then it's not worth it. You got to start building your own platform and creating your own opportunities. And you need to walk away from tables where you're the only one bringing the food. You don't need better talent. You need better boundaries. This industry will eat you alive if you let it. But the truth is, the musicians who survive and thrive don't just play music. They play this game differently. They think like entrepreneurs, and they build systems and they set boundaries. And they never wait for anyone to give them permission to do anything. So you've seen the struggles that musicians are facing, but what if one simple shift could flip everything? Watch this video next where I break down why charging more for your gigs doesn't lose you gigs, it actually lands you better ones. Trust me, this is the part that most musicians never figure out.